Let's work. We back at it like crack addicts.
Okay, so yeah, let's bring it back because we were saying some stuff about work life and stuff, and I'll get into that story a little bit real quick because we were talking about how I don't believe in mixing, work and anything you do in between the sheets. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't want to miss business and pleasure. You don't want to shit where you eat, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And for my take, it was a learned lesson. You know what I'm saying? I was there. I did there. It's not for me. But there's other people, and I'm going to tell this story. I'm not going to give no names, but you never want to get to the point where you are sitting up at work and let's just say you are the person that's underneath somebody. So you're messing with a manager, right? And you get to the point where you're just, falling or whatever and all in love. And that person now is going out and, doing whatever they want to do and sowing their oats out all around town and shit like that. And then you get into an altercation with somebody else that causes you to lose your job. So the scenario was young lady was fucking a manager. And in the time of that manager had a plethora of other little ladies on the sidelines. And he went ahead and found a new shawty within that time frame. And homegirl was just not really feeling it because the new shawty was a little bit older and a little bit more, I guess we could say, experienced. Yeah, seasoned. Yeah, she had
his ass out. That's what probably happened.
She had a little extra pickle sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? But the other young lady, she took it upon herself to confront the new lady, and altercations happened. She slapped her in the face, and it caused both the woman who was the aggressor, the one that did the slapping, to get fired, and the man who was sticking his dick in them both. Okay. And it's just like, you don't want to go through all of that and, lose your life because you got to think about it like these people have families and things like that and all this other kind of stuff. So I kind of want to kick it to these guys and see what their opinion is on work relationships.
That shit can get messy. Especially if people are like paying attention to your business because like a lot of people be nosy. A lot of people be worried about the wrong shit. Like, mind your business. That's key. Mind your business. If it ain't affecting you, leave it alone. Right? But I really feel like that type of shit could get messy. I don't want to speak on my personal experiences. Not that I be over there doing no crazy shit at work. But I'm just saying, more saying like,
Drop the cap.
I was about to say we all had a time. I don't know about that.
But I'm gonna kind of break it down. Like, just without too much detail. Just more so like, basically, there could be a chick and I'm sitting there dealing with her and somebody else dealing with her, but that person probably put the cape on. You know what I'm saying? And that you just it could get like you mix business with pleasure. That that person might be in a certain position where they can, affect your money, your pockets. So it's like, it can get real fishy and real sticky. So you might want to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta be on the same page where it's like, Shawty wasn't with that, but he probably ain't make that clear. Like, yo, look, I'm doing me.
Big facts.
Don't catch no feelings. Don't feel entitled over here because I'm slinging this motherfucker.
You can tell them that, what you know.
But yeah, go ahead, T-T.
I say don't never shit with you late, man. My grandfather told me always keep it in your pants, man. He told me at a young age, so I would never mess with nobody I work with, no matter how much you like a person ain't like you, because they're gonna get messy, like Manny was saying. And that's the story that Juice just shared. It can get like that, So I'd rather not do it, mess up my money, because I ain't messing up the bag for nobody. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely can't play with that money.
See, and then this is where it gets to the real controversial part, because it's a lot of people that say, well, what if it's your true love and you wasting your time working for a man, working for a company that ain't going to do for you, and that woman could be the one for you.
Can I give y'all some game real quick?
Go ahead.
Let me expound real quick.
Okay, hold on. Let me just say something. Remember, don't hate the player, hate the game.
I'm telling you, man. And listen, I'm gonna just tell you right, true love and all that other stuff. When you young, you believe all that stuff, but as you get older, real life experience, you realize it's never about love. It's always about business. You get what I'm saying? It's always in business. I think men, we in love, and women in business. I ain't trying to bash no woman or nothing like that, but it's all about business because your feelings can change. I thought you loved me because the same thing you love me for, you can end up hating me for it. So I always say you got to be careful with that love word and just get to know the person, the real person. Be friends first before anything. So that's why I said, like, the true love and all that other stuff, yeah, that sound cool, but love is just a chemical that wears off in probably like 16 months or, or 2 years.
I was about to say that's real deep, but that's also something. So when I work with people, because I do mental health myself, and I don't really advertise that even on here, but we do talk about that. But there's a question that I would like to pose to you guys because it's interesting. But do you remember being taught what it is to love?
No, not in words.
Okay.
Maybe through actions. Maybe through actions because like I was saying earlier, like I had a mother and a father, you know what I'm saying? And I had, like, I'm the youngest of my siblings, so, like, I was taught love through my mother loving on me, my father, being a father, my siblings, my siblings used to, like, I was the baby, so they used to, like, look out for me. My brother used to buy me stuff. My sister used to buy me stuff. They used to take me places, Six Flags, pools, all that stuff. And they did that through love, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily say, like, my father never sat me down like, well, this is how you're supposed to treat a woman, or this is, because he didn't have a father to really teach him that, right?
Okay.
His way of showing me love was being there, being present, and providing the best that he could. My mother's way of showing love is trying to teach me, her ways, or teach me something good, or, talking to me, sometimes reading the Bible to me, or whatever, like. And just being there for me, making sure, I'm fed, making sure, different forms of love. Like I said, my siblings, they did things for me. They took me places, So that's how I was taught love. I'm not necessarily taught, like, sat down and taught lessons and stuff like that.
Okay. You got one? Totac?
Just basically everything Manny was saying, and I just I was always loved since a child, like my family, just support. But I say it's always different from your family because that's your family. They gonna do that. You get what I'm saying? That's your family. They gonna do that. But like when you meet a young lady, you don't know from Adam or Steve. Adam or Eve. I'm sorry, you don't know her. Like none of
Adam and Steve. I like that.
You don't know from you don't know from Adam or Eve. You know me, man. You don't know from Adam or Eve. You don't know nobody. Just none of that. So it's kind of difficult for a female to love you. That's why I said the best relationships come from a relationship that you know that person. Like you grew up together just like they do back then. You knew that person forever. And yeah.
Hold on. It cut off?
We back at it? Okay, cool. We back in the game. But yeah, the best relationship form when you know somebody, like you can meet their parents, just like you said, your mom and them grew up. So like I said, it's always different when your family gonna love you because that's your family.
Right.
A female or just a man that like for the female, I'm talking about the man that it's kind of difficult to say you love me. You got to show it to me.
I can agree with that. Like I definitely don't know love or wasn't really taught love in a sense. Like I only been, to be honest, keep it real with y'all, I only been in one real relationship, and that was with my child's mother.
Oh, that's strong.
Was very fucking young. I didn't know myself. She didn't know herself. So you know what I'm saying? Like that was I don't know.
Okay, so the reason I posed that question, though, is because you know that most things that not even most things, all things that we do in this world is a learned behavior. So you go behind somebody else, and that's why I talk about, like, the TV, and like, I even heard it on you guys, the programming. Like, they program you to think that love is one way, but we never even in our families have a discussion about what it is to love somebody and to go through those motions. And like you said, like, you weren't told what it is to love a woman. You know what I'm saying? You were shown what it is to what it looks like, but you didn't know that it was a struggle that was going to happen. And like, I don't think that we equipped ourselves enough by doing it like that, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta go through the mud for anything. Like, if you really want to make it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see it, you know what I'm saying? To really succeed, you got to go through that mud, you know what I'm saying? So I think that we lose a little bit by not showing each other what it means to love a little bit. Because, like, for example, we like, Manny, you might not feel the same way, but generational trauma. Now, again, I work with the mental health, but a lot of people like to placate or like to use generational trauma as a way to, like, say that I have an issue and not be accountable for it. You get what I'm saying? So, for example, slavery. You know what I'm saying? It's a big thing. Now, I'm not saying that slavery doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? But it caused a lot of rifts in society today for American people. You feel what I'm saying? But it also causes a lot of black people to stay stunted because they're like, well, I still got all this generational scars because I walk into a store, everybody's looking at me crazy, but that don't mean you can't do better than what, these people think that you about to be on. You know what I'm saying? You could make the change today, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of us want to live our lives off the notion of these people say something about me, this is who I am, you know what I'm saying? And they don't really try to change the narrative. So let me switch it back because I know I'm kind of taking a tangent. And it kind of ties into this because it's an opinion-based question. But like now with the body positivity, with the body positivity movement, do you think that it's a positive thing for people to just placate being okay with being fat and not doing anything to better themselves or to try to lose the weight or, even becoming at a healthy state? Do you think that that's okay? Because that piggybacks off the same thing.
To be honest, and I was just saying about the sense of the world, you can't even call nobody fat no more. You can't say anything to nobody no more without them saying, oh, you're hating me, you're fat shaming, you're doing this, you're doing that. But the thing is, we live in a society where you should be able to say what you want to say. It's just like sometimes you got to watch what you say to your own siblings because, you know what, I don't like what you just said. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to watch what you say to your own. I'm like, what the heck happened? What shifted, people in the sense of what? I can't be real with you. Being real, like you said, toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got, I don't know. They just make it so that we accept everything. You gotta accept it. If you don't accept it, they're gonna try to cancel you.
Well, hold on, and man, because I know he's about to pop in, but I think it's a little different than that. It's like you have to be accepting of the narrative they are pushing. But when you have if you have a difference of opinion, then you're like we were talking about the cancel culture, because a lot of the people that have differences of opinion, like a Kevin Samuels, who was you saying? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Coach Greg Adams.
Coach Greg Adams. All these gentlemen, they want to get canceled, but they're highlighting prominent issues in the community that other people ain't wanting to listen to because they're not what they will call a majority group. Yeah. Because now men aren't majority group because, you know what I'm saying? And now we've even and this I think is a little bit fucked up because we've almost placated to the point we've fallen to the point where we kind of do some bitch shit where it's like, well, I'm an alpha nigga, you a bitch made nigga. No, we all men, you know what I'm saying? So help your brother get up to a proper man status instead of calling him a bitch nigga and you just gonna be the better man. How you the better man if you just looking down at him? You know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
Man, that's real shit. To touch on body positivity and body shaming and whatnot, like you said, we live in a way more sensitive time, and a lot of times I really believe that it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it and how people receive it, right? So they mix those things up where it's like Totac could sit here and tell me like, oh, bro, you slacking, like you falling off, so what's up, right? But I can tell that's coming from a place of I care, right? I done had people who come at me, in different. I feel like it's more so you kind of rejoicing that you might see something, some type of flaw, and you wanted to point it out. You a hater. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then people mix that shit up, and it's like, nah. Sometimes you need to be, real life, sometimes you need to be told about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And again, I feel like I still have to work on my approach with how I tell a person about themselves. Because the only time I really tell you about yourself is when I care. Okay. Enough to tell, because if I don't care, I'm gonna just let you.
Yeah, go about your business.
Yeah,
you got,
just go ahead.
Toilet paper on your ass. You just walk it with
Keep it pushing. So if I tell you about yourself, it's because I actually care. So if you listening and you know me and you feel like my approach don't be the best all the time, it's because I care. I can work on my approach, but it's about, it's all about how, like I said, it's all about what you saying, how you say it, right? But when it comes to body positivity, I'm with that, but love yourself. But it's not necessarily about your body all the time. It's more so about within, right? Love yourself within. Don't focus too much on the outside. Work on the outside. That's how you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't be comfortable with eating McDonald's every fucking night. Don't be comfortable with just doing unhealthy behaviors, drinking every weekend. And that's why you that looking like that or something, whatever.
Spirit drained, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not feeling like you fulfilled in life, all of that. Because it causes depression, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all of that, overindulgence.
Overindulgence. There's a balance to everything. See, that's the thing. It's us as a society are very challenged with balancing our lives out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we do too much of this. Sometimes I'm not perfect. Shit, some things I feel like I need to go ahead and work on, and other things I feel like I do good at, right? But like it's more so of a balance. Like you gotta balance your life out. If you're not balancing your life out, or at least trying to, it'd be a very much of an imbalance.
I'm about to say you be stuck like a rock. You know what I'm saying?
Stuck like Chip.
Because and it's funny you say that too, because a lot of these people get complacent with that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I can just do this and be cool doing the same old thing, but you don't need to be. I don't think you should be okay with doing the same shit, because once you get comfortable, I think that we all are at a point where we need to and it has nothing to do with you being bigger or anything like that. You can't really be motivated if you just get comfortable. Once you get comfortable and you stay there, you're just gonna be like a lack person. You know what I'm saying? And you're always looking at other people's accomplishments and stuff like that to try to receive something that you could have been doing your damn self. You feel what I'm saying? And I think the best way to say this is not everybody's gonna be a leader. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to be a follower and stuff, but you need to know what leads you follow. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because just like anything else, if you don't have nothing you stand on, you're gonna fall for anything. You know what I mean? And we that is the real. And talking about it, we're gonna get into something. We want to congratulate this brother. This man Totac. Little did we know while we was off on the little sideline, my man has 4 books actually. So we're gonna advertise my man, 1 book right here. Let's get it in there.
For sure.
Come on, man.
Can you give him
read the title out, man?
Okay.
Come on. This is my job right here. Tell her I got you. I'm his. What's that joint called? The public.
His PR manager.
Yeah, all right.
His public liaison.
All right, let's get it. Hey, listen, man. This is Khiry Totac Clock, man. The art of never giving up. The earlier you start, the better off you will be. Listen. Books is being sold on Amazon, man. Go get you one. We're gonna put the link in the description. Go buy one.
That's
it's
for
only
sure.
$11.99, man.
Yes, I'll put it straight down there. It's $11.99?
$11.99.
This is paperback. You got hardback?
I don't got a hardback, but
Okay.
it's coming soon.
Okay, and then go ahead.
That ebook coming soon.
Okay, and you got the audio?
So I ain't got that's coming soon too. Everything is coming.
I might record the audio myself.
Audio book on the way and all of that.
I'm gonna let Manny do him. Go ahead.
And if y'all want y'all a signature version of the book, y'all gonna have to slide into them DMs.
Facts.
Okay, come into the
Facts.
DM. And I'm sorry, but the price just went up for all y'all week. $11.99 on Amazon, and if you want that signature version, like I said, the price has gone up. For anybody that's weak, you're gonna have to slide into the DMs, and you're gonna have to send a direct cash app of $20. Okay, for the signature, you will get the book as well, but we need that $20 for that signature.
Yeah, I respect that.
And hey, listen, this is living legend right here. Y'all don't see it now, but y'all gonna see it. Watch.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I just want you to know, Totac, you're definitely doing some amazing stuff. Just even being able to write a book is beyond a lot of people's caliber. You know what I'm saying? I myself am looking forward to write a book. So not by the next time they interview me, but it's gonna be a book. It's gonna be a book out. It's gonna be a book out. Before the end of the year, it will be a book out. No, but can you tell us a little bit about like what the book was about and what it meant to you?
The book meant everything to me because I've written 4 books, but this book meant a lot to me because I really put a lot of my personal childhood, my stories into that book with a little bit of motivation, and that's how I do it. I make my book short too because a lot of people don't like to read, so I try to just make it so easy that a 4th grader can read the book and everybody can learn from the old to the young or to the young to the old, and so that's it. So I make my book simple and I put a lot of personal stuff in here that I probably would never share with people until this book. Mm-hmm.
Any one personal story that you got in there that you might want to be able to share with the podcast?
I'm gonna be honest, it's not in the book, but it's coming. I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. Like I ain't really share this story, but I'm gonna share this. This the real podcast. One time, like growing up, man. How can I say this, man? Me, I'm a very candid person, So I'm gonna say one time I thought I had herpes, man. I'm gonna keep it real with you. This is real talk. This is real talk. Because when you growing, the reason why I thought I had it, like something I ain't really tell my family. Like nobody don't know about this story. Nobody don't know about this story. Like a couple people I told, but like this is to the world. So I thought I had it. Then I ain't go to the hospital. I ain't do nothing because that embarrassment. That like, God damn, how this happened? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So went. Thank the Lord I ain't got it. Thank the Lord I'm clean as a whistle. But that story like really slowed me down. That's why I'm so big on like I ain't really sticking my penis in any female that I run across. You get what I'm saying? you know, you got to learn lessons from that. That was a slow down, Khiry. Get yourself together. You tripping, Totac. Like, you on some other stuff. So that was a story I don't even think Manny knew. Like, nobody really knew that. You know what I'm saying, bro? So that's why I told myself in life, man, at the end of the day, man, like, that story right there, like, wow, you know, so that's deep. My mother don't even know about that story. You get what I'm saying? So,
about to know.
yeah, she gonna know about it now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so yeah. So I said, from that day forward, I said, man, I ain't doing none of that. I'm focusing all my sexual attention into my success. And now you have this book.
Hey,
and many other things.
And that's beautiful. And listen, I advocate for sperm retention for any of you young brothers who out there. Keep it in your pants and try to don't flap and shit like that. Don't slap the.
That's the new word for
flap.
Yeah.
Now, flap is from
it's
from England though. It's an English word. But the reason I say that though is because like I've noticed this off my own strength. With not doing all of that, it let me be a lot more focused, you know what I'm saying? And I know, Totac can tell y'all, like, I was a big dude, you know what I'm saying? I was over 300 pounds, and, like, I took that whole, like, notion, and I just focused it in on working myself out, and then, like, it's been, like, a year and a half. So, in the last year and a half, I dropped all that weight, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, but it takes a lot more than just saying, I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like it did. I didn't wake up one day and just said I'ma just be healthy and shit. It was a battle. You feel what I'm saying? So even if you know what I'm saying, don't flap and all that. Take your time. Like get there. You know what I'm saying? But don't just expect yourself to be like cold turkey. Like you're not going to stop. If you got an addiction, you know what I'm saying. There's no way you're just going to end it out the same day. But go ahead.
And I want to say one more thing too. Like for the young brothers out there, like you feel like you gotta always have all this sex. Yes, it's a good thing. You know, we need it to procreate, but a lot of people forget the main reason behind sex is for procreation, not recreation. And sometimes, like Manny was saying, in our society, we overdo shit. That's why we always set back. We never succeed. You look at black people, we're in last place. You know, if it was a race, we'd be in last place, you know?
We the fastest people.
I'm telling you, exactly, bro. We the fastest people, but at the end of the day, we far behind, you know? So it's kind of like when it comes down to, like, sex, you know, anything for the young ladies as well, you know what I'm saying? Because I love women. I can't live without her. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I get on my nerves time, but I can't live without my woman. You get what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just want a lot of young ladies that are good women, try to be good, but don't get lost in the society, man. Don't get lost in that. If you that way, trust me, a man out here like myself gonna appreciate you, man. Just be yourself. Don't fall in the trap and try to be like the rest of these women. Because they look like they want it, but you don't know what they hurting at home. They depressed, can't cohabitate. You get what I'm saying?
And I see this. Oh, go ahead, man.
Real quick, so I want y'all to feel human. You know, while they talking about this shit, like, man, listen, semen retention, I really want to work on practicing it a lot harder, right? Okay. But I haven't came home from prison, bro. Like, I ain't too much. Like, I'm burning something up. I ain't going. You know, like it's just it is what it is. Like, you know, having to get that out of my system, but at the same time, it's like I do take that into consideration and be like, damn, nah, you gotta really like refocus your energy and like, you know, it's not all about. So like you said, it's not always about like it's about procreation and not recreation. Like, man, you focus that energy on something else, man. It'll do wonders. Yeah.
Okay, hold up, man. I do want to touch on what you just said, just because it's something we could talk about real quick. But you said, you know, after coming back from like from prison and stuff. But my thing is, okay, so, and I don't want to get too personal, you know what I'm saying? But are you saying, you know, you said you got to burn something up. You talk about a lady, right?
Yeah.
No. Only reason I say that though is because I respect that. But you by yourself doing it alone, that's what I'm trying to discontent people to do.
To that is like you do that in prison. So it's like it kind of like I ain't gonna lie, like it'll like for a lot of, and I'm probably not the only one, but like it'll become a habit.
I got you.
From being like, you know, you releasing that shit because you in prison. You ain't, well, at least I ain't touching no dude. So it's like, you know, like, and I've heard, like, I'm not the only person, like I've heard from other dudes just come. I was like, it's like a bad habit, or like, you know, just a habit where it's like, you know, sometimes like you have, man, it's like a stress reliever or whatever, like you just getting your shit off, but it's like it really ain't healthy,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So you know, like you said, it's a challenge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
You know, the more you work on it, the better you get. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I was gonna say though, but with the whole flapping though, it's because like just like we were talking about, like, you know what I'm saying, you might mess with that girl and then like things might change. But it's that post-nut clarity that everybody want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? You know, you get that post-nut clarity. You might not even like homegirl no more.
I love that word for some reason. It's like,
Man, bro. That's one
Yeah.
of the realest, man.
But the more you dive into, like, you know, loving yourself, I'll say it like that. Loving yourself too much, you lose the sense of the clarity, because it's like it's the goal becomes just busting the nut.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And then once it's just busting the nut, you don't have clarity. You know what I'm saying? So you need to like leave it alone a little bit so that you can have clarity. Are you finding something that you truly like in that person? Because even myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was having this conversation earlier. Like, I had my wild times. I'll say this even on the pod. It was a time where I was fucking lesbians. It was really crazy. Like, lesbians love me, dog. Like, it's very crazy, yo. Like, it was a very crazy time. But it was just like
a lesbian trans.
yeah, to the point where it was one joint. We were friends. She had a full girlfriend, living together, all of that shit. But every time the girlfriend got on her nerves, and then I would be over there. But at the same time, we had a friendship too, and it was a whole little thing. But at the same time, I had to look at my karma though, because I'm over here dealing with somebody who got a whole relationship and shit. I had to, you know, see where it was gonna weigh on my shit. So I was like, I gotta kind of stop. You know what I'm saying? Fall back. But at the end of the day, it's like I had that clarity, but at the same time, I know what I like. You know what I'm saying? You want some ass, you want some ass. Yeah, we as men, we know that. But at the same time, you do have to look at the repercussions of what you're really doing, because I know I didn't want that long term. And I know I was fucking up somebody else's home, and that's not cool.
Yeah, big facts, man. Big facts. Like I say, man, if a female ain't contributing to my life in no type of way, like, most likely I ain't even trying to stick my penis in her, man, because that come with a whole lot. It's like I said this quote a long time. I said, when you start fucking, that's when you fucked your life up. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of things, like you said, posting clarity. Like, you might, like, you'll fuck a girl, like, you dig hard, so you'll do some crazy things. The next thing you know, you fuck, like, get the hell, like, why did I do this? Man, I ain't doing this no more. Then you might turn around and do it again. You know what I'm saying? That's just the dog. That's just the man. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, man, I tell people, like, at the end of the day, man, control yourself. When you control your sexual urge, yeah, appreciate you. So when you control your sexual urge and you put all that attention to your success and your dreams and your goals, I'm telling you, you're going to take over the world beyond measures, man. And all the women you want going to come. Don't worry about it.
So hold up, because we are talking on a male standpoint. I mean, we can only kind of talk from where we come from, but would you have any advice for the ladies who might be dealing with somebody who just dealing with them for that?
Use protection. Okay. Use protection.
What you mean, dealing with them
just for the sex?
Sex?
Or X, if I don't know how if we're gonna get demonetized and all that.
Dang. I don't know. Hold up. I ain't gonna lie. I off the top of the head, man, just love yourself. That's like, man, don't get attached to people that don't love you. You know, like really like love yourself. Like, learn to love yourself before you start getting attached to people. Because if you don't know how to love yourself, you sitting there the person don't even know how to love you, or you might be confused on how they supposed to love you. You know what I'm saying? You might think that the dude supposed to talk to you a certain way, like, you know, curse you out or disrespect you, and you feel like there's love. Like, nah. Like, learn to love yourself and learn what you like and what you need as a person. You know what I'm saying? Don't just use a person for their body.
Yes, sir. So let me ask y'all this fatherhood question now, right?
I ain't a father, I'm uncle though.
I'm a proud uncle of 14, bro. It's very crazy out here.
I'm an uncle of like 18.
That's real crazy
I'm a
too.
Father of one.
But as a father today, how would you best prepare your son for both being successful in the world today and dating today?
That's a good question. I like that question.
For being successful in the world, I've been telling my son this for years, because even though I was incarcerated, I was still a part of his life as much as I could be, right? And, like, you know, as far as, like, you know, since he was like 3-4 years old, I would tell him, like, hey, look, first we handle business, then we play. We play after we handle business, right? And so, like, even now, like, when you know, he just recently started school, man. My man, a 5th grader now. I got a 5th grader, y'all. That shit crazy.
Congrats. Shout out to 5th grade. We about to be in
shout
middle
out to
school.
Nate the Great, man. Nate the Great, he's amazing. But, you know, he had just started school and stuff, and, you know, me just trying to, like, put him in a better mindset. For one, I noticed the difference. Being present is very important with him, right? But, you know, the day before he started school, I went, and, you know, I made sure he was showered and made sure he was ready, you know, everything ready or whatever. But I took a moment to sit there and talk to him. Like, I pulled him to. I made him stop everything. I got him, and I'm like, I start like just kind of like massaging his head, and I'm just talking to him like, look, man, this is what I expect from you. This is what I need from you. I need you to do this. I need, there's no stupid questions. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions if you don't understand something. Ask your teachers. Ask me. Whatever. Just I had a whole like prep talk with him, right? And like I just really just try to like, to prepare my son for success. What I really just try to do is really just talk to him. Like communicate things to him and try to make him understand things, because what we go wrong at is we think that they kids, they don't understand, so we just not gonna explain shit to him. Nah, I treat my son like a little man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna treat you like I treat him like a child with love, but at the same time I talk to him like a little man. I'm gonna make sure you understand it, because kids is soaking
all the information.
Everything. Like my son, look, I ain't gonna hold you. Like I go to the casino sometimes. My
he don't learn to gamble, boy, off you.
Man, we play blackjack together.
Okay.
Yeah, judge me if you want. That's just
ain't
fun,
no judgment,
fun
man.
and games.
Okay.
Not y'all, but I'm saying, they want. But
the internet.
They going. I'm giving y'all something to hate about. I play blackjack with my son, but my son sometimes he think I'm going to the casino. He be like, okay, Dad, have fun at the casino. I'm like, bro, chill. Like I'm not going to the casino. You know what I'm saying? Like chill out. But I say that to say like, man, kids soak up so much of what you're doing. So it's like, don't think that just because they're a kid, they don't understand. Like, nah, like you got to explain things to them and make it clear to them so that they can understand and not just be soaking stuff up. You know what I'm saying? And misinterpreting things, because if you don't explain it, they just going to kind of like see it and think that it's something else or get confused, right?
Right.
And I also just, like I said, just talk to him. Like I talk to him about my son. He's a little businessman. Like he's driven. Like he be wanting to make money, right? My son, man, over the summertime he was in summer camp. Man, this kid came home with $30. Guess what he sold, y'all?
Ice cream.
No.
Lemonade.
He sold gum. He sold gum. I guess apparently you couldn't take snacks to camp and all this stuff. And he had a commodity. He had gum. And kids, man, this man came home with $30 off of gum. And I'm like, shorty, like. Like what? Yeah, I was just like, but I talk to him about asset. Like I tell him, sometimes I tell him, what is an asset, or was it a liability, or what's an investment? How does that work? I'm not the.
You over there, Robert Kiyosaki, and that boy already.
Yeah, no, I'm not the most well versed in that, but I just try to give him as much game as I can, because like one thing about it, like I already know, like you ain't never gonna, like you won't be there forever for your children.
That's for sure.
It's more so about what you putting into them. So, and as far as like dating and stuff, I ain't gonna lie, like I haven't reached that point with him yet, because he still has this little innocence about him. It's like I don't even want to like I play with him and stuff, like, oh, you got a little girlfriend, but I don't never really like
want to break him out that innocent shit.
Yeah, bro, like I was like nah, because by his age I was already I knew too much.
That's what I'm saying. he probably knows some stuff too. Y'all just not having that conversation. That's why it's like you might need to start saying something.
Yeah.
Or at least really ask him. You know what I'm saying?
That's fact. Yeah,
you know? Totac, you ain't got nothing for it?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you an uncle, you might got something.
No,
you
listen,
might got
I just
something.
want to say, like, action is the best teacher. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna teach my kids just by showing them the way, in the sense of following me, making sure I'm present in life. I would love to grow up in a house, my kid to grow up in a house with my, my wife, my girlfriend, but I ain't trying to get married, But I love to be around my kids. If my kids come with me, I love that. But I just want to make sure, I just teach them everything I know about life, from the woman, because you can't just tell your son, man, listen, don't mess with that type of girl. Sometimes you just got to show them. You might see little examples in the mall, or someone, hey, you see that? That can happen to you if you do that. You got to be smart. And just teach them about finances, teach them about everything. You want to do anything in life? My daughter, too. Like, don't be no 304. You know what happens behind that? Don't be that way. You can only tell them so much, So I just always try to be, because it's different by how you raise a girl and a boy. You more like you treat your daughter like princesses. You know what I'm saying? All the fathers, real fathers that ain't daughters like, man, they love their daughters and their sons. They hard on them, because you got to understand, as a man, this world is not easy for us. It's very hard. So that's what I just say, man. Just try to be, let my actions speak. You
said something too that I think it really caught me off guard, because I never thought about it like this. But have you ever thought about it like this? But men are nurturing. They say that we aren't nurturing. But when it comes to your daughters, men are the most nurturing parent
Big fact.
to their daughters. And then the opposite is also true to mothers to their sons.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because you baby them, you'll take them outside of that normal. You want to show them the absolute best without there being any negative at all. You know what I'm saying? But if you a father to a son, you going, look, my dude, you're gonna have to get your knees scraped a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You keep it real. And then mothers and daughters, and I see that this is something that I noticed, but they bump heads a lot. But it's never on constructive things. It's on issues that the mother might find negative in herself that she just don't like at all in her daughter. You know what I'm saying? And she just like, I want to kill that shit all the way. You feel what I'm saying? And then that causes a rift where they don't have the right type of communication. Not all the time, but most times, and especially in the black-brown community. It's like that because I feel like we lost the ability to be truthful with one another because everybody with this free talk and I can be this way, I can be another way. Nobody said you couldn't be that way, but it's a repercussion to your actions of being that way. And this is your parent or whomever, somebody that cares about you is trying to tell you, let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't want to hear that. So, go ahead, man.
Just to add on, like, with fatherhood stuff and, like, nurturing and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you're right. Like, your kid, like, as far as with me and my son, like, I feel like in a way I'm nurturing to him, but also, like, I do got to be stern with him, right? But one thing about it, like, even though I can be hard on him, like I said, like, just learning, just, you know, from trial and error, like, I try to talk to him. Like, I do my best with respecting my son because I'm the first example or should be the first example of a man, right? And how a man supposed to treat a man, right? So if I'm not sitting there treating my son probably like respecting him as a man, then I'm basically teaching him to not be respected as a man. And I'm not doing that because my son is, you know, when he becomes a man, he needs to demand his respect, not in a toxic man. My best in respecting my son so that he can know how to be respected and how to respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So listen, I got a question. It's gonna be a little off like the topic we've been on, but it's a question that a young lady that's been watching the show is a little curious about with men, and I wanted to hear you guys' stance on the Passport Bros. Do you know what the Passport Bros is?
Oh, you got
Real.
Okay, because I mean, since we already talked about marriage and seeing how it's not really that stable here in the West, I do want to hear like what's the stance on Passport Bros.
Ooh, I love this one. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to my Dominicans, Kilo, Kid. You know what I'm saying?
Kelo Kentucky.
I love Dominican. You know I love Dominican. But look,
Diablo Conde.
yeah. Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, I support the Passport Bros. You know, if you can't find love here, whatever you looking for, go overseas. But you gotta understand this: everybody has these smartphones, right? This phone, everybody know what everybody's doing. You know, so at the end of the day, you might go over there, you might think it's easy, you might think a person loves you, whatever. But you gotta understand, like, they in a country where they don't have a lot of resources like we have. So anybody that's going over there, as a man, you might feel like, oh, this girl really love me, this girl really rocking with me. But the whole time, it might be another way. You got some good ones over there. Don't get it twisted now. About 5 to 10 years, that's why I'm going to move, you know, because USA, I'm always.
Y'all hear that? My man out of here. He's straight up out of here.
It's about 5 to 10 years, I'm gone. But I just want to tell people at the end of the day, man, I'm a component of the Passport Bros. You know, like, whatever you got to do to, you know, try to find love, try to find your significant other for the people that want that, I say go ahead and do it. Like, you know, 'cause people think, you going over there, I'm going to have sex with all these women, this, that, and the third. Nah, if you going over there for love, man, do your thing, man. Do your thing. You can't find it, go over there.
So, with me, in my opinion, right, I'm not against them. And I'm not, like, it's a weird toss-up for me. Because, why? Because I've been overseas as a youngster, right? And, like, I got family, or, my family's from El Salvador. Okay. So, we go over there. Mm-hmm. And you can get treated differently because you're from America. You could be poor, like we poor over here, but we get treated differently.
Like royalty over there, right?
Exactly. So it's like, me personally, like, don't get me wrong, like, I ain't gonna lie, I love my foreign women. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I love, the accents. Like, if you from another country and you got an accent, I love you. Anyway, but the thing is like, I wouldn't trust going out there and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna find me a wife, because they'll be submissive, they'll treat you good and all that, but is it really for the right reason?
Okay.
Or is it because for what you could provide for them or the opportunity that you provide or the value that you bring to their life. Like, are they really gonna love you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, you know, like you said, it could be like a transactional thing. Like, oh, they treating you the way you want to be treated. They loving you the way they want. You know, they effing you the way you want to get. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is just like, but is it genuine? Is it something you want to do because you want to do it for me, or is it something you want to do because I came into your life and just like.
That's a goal or something that you can gain from it.
You feel me?
But see, okay, what I want to say about it, because and for all our viewers out there that don't know what the passport bros are, so passport bros are gentlemen who are going outside of the U.S. seeking traditional women in countries where the values for tradition is held to a higher esteem. So with that being said, though, it was this quote, and I probably try to clip it into this whole video, but they were saying, like, it was a young girl too, saying that like the passport bros movement has to have some reality to it, because it's like all these dudes want traditional, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, are you traditional as a man enough to go out there and obtain that woman and really maintain her the way that she would want to? Because a lot of dudes like, well, I'm not getting what I want out here. But they don't, like, I'm not trying to say that, of course, not you yourself, but there's a lot of gentlemen, like 90 Day Fiance, whatever dude, bald head black dude. He got the Korean woman, and she's calling him fat and ugly every time, and like just like disrespects him all over the place. Got literally dudes sending her nudes on television, and she's in a different country. You feel what I'm saying? But she's supposed to be a traditional woman in his eyes. You feel what I'm saying? But he's not even coming out there, and I'm not trying to say he's a bitch or anything, but he don't have all his ducks in a fucking row to really say he's that nigga to be out there trying to get with her, because if she doing any of that, it would have been a wrap for her, for me. You know what I'm saying? The minute she called me fat or ugly, it would have been done. I'm like, oh, okay. So you gonna have fun alone. I said, but it's just shit like that you have to also, like, I definitely want to clip that little piece, because the way the girl said it, it was just like too smooth. But it's like you still have to be a top of the line man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To even go out there and, because like you said, because you can see it also. And I think that, to be real with you, if you're ever going to do the passport bro thing, I'm sorry I'm taking a little tangent, you do have to stay outside the country with it. You cannot come back to America. You cannot bring your woman back. Yeah, you cannot. Because, because, exactly, not even just indoctrinated.
To a city girl.
She going to get friends and all of that other kind of stuff that do stuff that would not be in her tradition. And then it's going to change her into one of the people that you not liking.
Look, and I'm gonna say this too. They doing that in certain parts of these foreign countries that everybody going to.
Yeah, even like Brazil and stuff.
You know,
you're seeing
they
it.
doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you said about how I'm gonna know if this person really for me. You gotta ask yourself that with women here. If I ain't had this money, would she still be for me? And as you can see now, you know what I'm saying, bro? So I say, man, at the end of the day, man, whatever floats your boat, and that's the thing what we doing. We always judging people, always judging. If you happy with what you doing in life, man, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because, you know what I'm saying, what you eat don't make me do.
Exactly.
So I tell people, man, live your life, man, no apologies, do you. Whatever makes you happy, just do it to the fullest extent. And that's all I got to say. Do it real, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, because I kind of like forgot to touch on that too. It's like dudes be wanting a submissive woman. Oh, I want her to be this way. I want her to cook and clean for me. Well, you got to be that man that's bringing everything to the table.
You have to be able to, not even just everything to the table. You got to be able to protect, provide. You need to be.
Some of you motherfuckers can't even fight.
I just had an episode about that, because everybody quick to go into a gun, and I remember the days where you could go outside and I'm gonna whoop your ass, like, and my mom wouldn't, like, my mom was just talking about on the last joint. You can't come home until you fight. Even if you lost, if you didn't fight at all, you're not coming in the house, because you didn't defend the family, you didn't defend your own name, you ain't even got respect for yourself. So you can't come up in here. And so at least, because like you say, it's a loss. It's a lesson in a loss, and it's a lesson in a win. The fact that you went outside and you stood up for yourself will always hold more weight than if you just, cowered in the corner.
Ran away.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like, you definitely, like you said, you gotta be that guy. If you want a woman to be a certain way, you can't just expect her to be a certain way, and you right there playing video games 5 hours out of your day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You right there, you ain't got your shit together. Nah, you gotta have your shit together if you want her to, do the things that you need her to do as a woman, as a nurturer, as a caregiver, all that good stuff. you got to be that guy.
And I'm gonna say something about y'all funky ass video game playing dudes. Y'all need to take a damn bath because it's a different world with y'all. Y'all have the must on top of must. It'd be really crazy. It's big crazy. So yeah, as we wrapping it up, guys, I hope y'all love my dudes from the real pod showing up. Hey, appreciate y'all, yo. Appreciate y'all. This has been an amazing little time. I hope that y'all enjoyed yourselves. And anybody that got anything to say about the pod, I mean, not the pod, but the Passport Bros, if y'all disagree with it, please hit them comments down below. Please check out the Real Podcast. Again, their link will be in the description box. Do y'all have any Instagrams or anything y'all want to tag?
Yeah, so Instagram, The Real Podcast. That's THAREAL Podcast. Follow us on there. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. And Manny, before we get about it, we got to say it one time. If you ain't on the real, okay, yeah, we're going to start it over.
Listen, man.
And this his son came up with this slogan right here.
Nate the Great, man. Shout
sure.
out.
If you ain't on the real, you ain't real.
Yeah.
Straight like that.
Hey, there we go. Shout out to Nate the Great.
Man. Shout out Juice, man.
Thank you, too.
Appreciate you letting us on, man.
Nah, I appreciate y'all. Also, before y'all run up out of here, we got to talk about what are the other titles of the books that you got, so that way, just in case they, ignorant folks, they might see one link and they think they're gonna get every book, so they gotta find.
You can just type my name in. So, matter of fact, my other book's gonna be on there next week. So, getting everything situated. My other book's gonna be on next week. My first book was called As a Man: 100 Codes for Black Males. My second book was called Becoming the Best Version of Yourself. My third book was a book I co-authored, so it was called HGP: The Family Code. And my fourth book is right here, The Art of Never Giving Up. The earlier you start, the better off you will be.
There we go. So I want to thank everybody who's been here watching. So we want to thank everybody who's been watching. This is The Real Pod has been here in the building, fucking some shit up and telling y'all the real truth that y'all really needed to hear. And I'm your host, Juice, on the Squeeze Pod, and we thank you. Peace.
Hey.